Hello, and yeah, you read the title correctly. Today we'll be doing 500 Nucleus runs. If you aren't aware, with the new mining update that came out roughly a month ago, not only did they add a Nucleus RNG meter, but they also added new drops like Lapidary and the new Dwarvenos. These changes deem Nucleus runs worth it for me to do and see what type of money it makes in today's game. Before going farther into the video, I do want to quickly ask you guys to subscribe to our channel. We're climbing closer and closer to 30k every day, and we really appreciate every sub more than you'll ever know. We promise to the 83% of you guys that aren't subscribed that it'll be worth it. Anyway, let's move on with the video. First, let's talk about how I obtained each crystal and the tech behind it. Oh yeah, and if you're curious, here's what my hotbar looked like. The stone sword is a wither cloak, and the fishing rod is a grappling hook, and trust me, it'll make sense soon. Also, for the few that are wondering, no, I didn't set up an auto pet roll for Armadillo. I just didn't feel like swapping stuff in and out of my hotbar, so I just did it manually. Firstly, I'll talk about the jade crystal quickly. This one can be done in two ways, either by gathering all the parts beforehand and then doing runs, or by doing the parts one run after another. In my opinion, I did the tools one by one, as sitting there gathering tools for 500 runs in a sitting is kind of mind-numbing. Each set, depending on the RNG, could take anywhere from 20 seconds to even somewhere like a minute and a half. So this crystal is definitely the longest out of the 5. Next up, we have the amethyst crystal. This is the most well-known cheese when it comes to doing Nucleus runs, and as I mentioned before, it's with using an armadillo pet. I'm not going to go into specifics on how I exactly set it up, but rather I'll link a short in the description on how to do so. But to summarize it here, all you need to do is hand it a jungle key, go underneath the amethyst crystal and where it spawns, and use your armadillo pet to jump and grab it through the ground. This probably saves close to a minute, as you get to skip all the parkour and grab the crystal pretty much instantly. Finally, we have the topaz crystal. This is pretty simple, but they did change it up with the mining update. Rather than being able to jump into the arena and instantly claiming the crystal before the battle spawns, you must now sit through the animation that it spawns, and then only if you participated can you actually claim the crystal. Now normally, killing Bao would take like a minute or two with the addition of the spawning phase, but we could speed that all up thanks to the wither cloak. Enabling the wither cloak and shooting at Bao gets rid of the invincibility frames. This meaning that if you're constantly shooting at Bao during the 10-second wither cloak phase, you should be able to kill it in time. Anyway, I think that's all I need to mention here. Each Nucleus run took around 2 to 3 minutes per. On top of that, all the time I had to spend lobby swapping to make sure I had a good lobby, and eventually when my lobby closed down to find a new one. I'd recommend sticking to the end of the video, as I do give you guys a little inside scoop on possibly the most expensive video we've ever recorded. But till then, I'll let you guys enjoy the next few minutes of clips. I did not know you get mithril powder from this. Another recall potion. Alright, after about 3 seconds of googling, I figured out that these are a 1 in 75 chance to get from a Nucleus run. We're 5 in and we have 2 of these things, what the fuck? If it means anything, I think I just had the worst Nucleus bundle I've ever seen. my god, Balpet. Why is it a fucking epic? That's so boring. Flawless Gemstone, that's like, really, that's fucking rare. What the fuck? Fuck this guy.
Could have been, yeah.
That could have been my alloy. That should have been my alloy. He's
Oh,
a
nice.
level 108! He's an Iron Man! Oh my god. Fuck you, Jason. Fuck you! The fuck? Shader holds 2 Devon fragments and a recall potion. Something good, right? Oh. We're fucking lucky. Alright, with that all out of the way, let's get it to the loot. First of all, in the 6.5 double chest, we have a total of 328 Piconimbuses. Altogether, this comes around to 24.6 mil, which might seem like a good amount of money, but selling all these is a pain in the ass, so I probably won't end up doing that. Next up, these don't really have any value, but all the prehistoric eggs and the armadillos that I hatched along with it. For the fun of it, I just valued all these at 1 mil total, so we'll go with that for the video. Next of all, we have all these fossils that I got along the way, both the helix and the claw fossils. The helix fossils aren't worth that much, but the majority of the cost comes from the claw fossils. Altogether, in the chest, we have 14.5 mil. Next, we have all the books, which a majority comes from Lapidary and then the rest come from Fortune 4. With the 120 Lapidary books that I got and the 14 Fortune 4s, the total came up to 279 mil. Which is surprisingly where most of the profit came from. Next up, another new drop is we have all the Dwarven O's, specifically 56 of them, and totaling it comes to around 80 mil. Next, in the chest below, we have all the Jade Emeralds, which I got 53 of them, and if you were to sell them all, it comes to around 260 mil. Now, this isn't directly from the Nucleus runs, but of course you have to kill Bal for the Crystal now, and from that I got 11 Epic Bal Pets and 4 Legendary. All this together comes out to 74 mil. Next in this chest are the rare drops that are also pretty sad to get. With the 12 precious pearls and 8 recall potions, that only totals up to around 8.5 mil. Moving on into this really expensive chest, we have 3 stacks of Devon fragments, which comes out to around 171 mil. Next we have 31 gemstone mixtures, which comes around to 52 mil. And finally an assortment of flawless gemstones, which come out to around 16 mil. The final thing that we got from the runs, and I'm kinda shocked is this much, is all the assortments of fine and flawed gemstones that we got through the Nucleus runs. Believe it or not, all the gemstones that you see in these chests are totaled up to 191 million coins. Now I imagine you haven't been keeping track of how much the total is, and I'll go over that too. In total, I made just over 1 billion coins, being specifically 1 billion and 12 million coins. Though this isn't to factor the amount that we actually spent on the runs, which if you include the 450 mil in robot parts, the close to 88 mil in jungle keys, and then the 3 mil in goblin eggs, we spent 540.5 mil. With some basic math, I was able to figure out that I made 471.5 mil throughout the 500 runs that I did. If we divide this by the rough 25 hours that I spent doing this, I made a base of 18.8 mil an hour, which is really bad, but let me make that a little better. First of all, I would only recommend doing Nucleus runs if you plan to go all the way to RNG meter. Obviously, with the 500 runs that I didn't. But if I were to go and pity an alloy, I would get an extra 30 mil an hour just on top of the 18.8. Not to mention, I didn't get a single quick law throughout this whole thing, and with a drop rate of getting one every 373, I should have dropped one. So, as a rough estimate, if you were to consistently do Nucleus runs, you'll probably end up with over 50 mil an hour, which isn't that bad for how niche of a money-making method this is. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, if you please could subscribe to our channel, that would mean a lot. We're going for 30k, and every sub really means a lot more than you'll ever know. If you do want to see a part 2 where I could go ahead and get my pity for the alloy and do another 500 runs, please let me know. And hey, since you made it to the end of the video, I'll give you a little sneak peek on what we have to come. Anyway, that's it for today. See ya.